The 1,000 word challenge. 700 words. On the edge of a secluded village, a peculiar fog rolled in, hiding secrets that whispered in the night. The whispering wasn't new here. Every woman in Creswick could whisper. Mothers had been teaching their daughters since the village had grown up around the wellspring that had called their ancestors down from the mountains. From the moment of her first blood, the female child of Creswick could send her voice into the minds of others and speak in a still, small whisper. At first their whisper could only reach as far as their arms, those they held closest to their hearts, but with patience and practice, Creswick women could send their whisper over great distances. The greatest among them, the village chief, could send her whisper across plains and oceans to any person she had touched. The village chief used her whisper to make the village rich and strong and powerful, so that despite its size, it was beginning to have greater and greater influence over the valley. Under her leadership, the village was extending its borders and would soon be a village no more, but a thriving town. And still, it was seen that only daughters born of women who themselves had been born in Creswick had the gift of the whisper. The whisper that came with the creeping fog that night was different. It was deep and coarse and menacing. There was a distortion to it, like a blunt blade being forced through fracturing glass. Though the voice spoke in hushed tones, the words it uttered were deafening, consuming all the women that heard it. The distortion in the whisper grappled their minds, but it was the whisperer's voice that stunned them. The voice was male. No man had ever whispered before. He stole into their minds, whispering, "The power you hold, I now yield, witches. Abandon hope. I come for you all." He came for them that very night, as the full hunter's moon rose over the village, casting shaded silhouettes of thatched houses on packed earth lanes. He came for them in their dreams, where they had little defence against him. Only in their dreams could they not tear themselves away from the man's rhetoric. No living person had ever been able to whisper into a sleeping mind. No woman whisperer could ever have conceived or shielded themselves from an attack against them as they slept. His whisper sent them into terror and torment with prophecies so real they forgot they were dreaming at all. Visions of burning houses and the fat women and of a man standing at the wellspring, laughing. He repeated the whisper again and again and again, beating their brains until they bled with the horror of it. Together, the women of Creswick rose from their beds. Silently they stumbled around their homes until they came upon and closed their hands around any weapon they could find: a poker, a heavy tome, a kettle, a walking stick, a knife. While the peaceful village slept, they stood over burdened beds in their own home, and in their slumber they killed that which haunted them. They killed those who bore the pitch and tone of the whisperer. They killed every man and boy and any woman that stood in their way, cutting down their husbands, brothers, and sons. Once their hands were slick with the blood of their kin, they marched forth to find others to slaughter. The village chief's hand trembled. Aloft she held her staff. Beneath its path lay her husband. The whisperer willed her to slay those that threatened the women of Creswick. The darkness of the whisper closed around her mind until it was all but consumed, all but for one spark. She spoke that spark until she awoke the words still on her lips. My mind is my own. I do no one's will but mine. She shouted so loud she woke her husband, so loud she woke her son, so loud that every whispering woman came and tore her family apart, until her own breath became ragged and still. Dawn rose in the village, but not a soul rose with it. Creswick was a ghost town now.